Yes, how are you people doing? How many of you attended the last session? Arey, this is useless. Yes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rest all are new? Good. Yes, is my voice audible? Yes. So for those who are new, who did not attend the last session, just I'll tell you briefly what we are going to do in this particular course, what's the plan, okay, and what all we discussed in the last orientation session, which took place on 1st of July. Okay, it is available on YouTube. You can directly go there and watch that lecture. After this lecture, please go and watch that entire lecture. Okay, so that we all will be on the same page. Okay, what we are doing specifically, this is Ethics and Essay Rank Booster Program. The intent why I designed this course is simply because many students reached out to me saying that, sir, we are facing problem with ethics answer writing or essay writing, specifically philosophical essays. Some students out of them were like they're not able to deconstruct the question, or what is exact expectation of the question. They were not able to understand that. Some students, even those who are selected candidates, one or two, I don't know if they have joined online or not, but one or two students who are already in service and they want to improve their marks, they also reached out to me. So considering all these aspects, we have designed this program. Idea is how to score really high in ethics and essay. Why ethics and essay? Because these are highly scoring subjects which you people must be knowing already. Yes, the high you can go is somewhere around 140 in each paper, which is not so easy in any other subjects. GS 1, 2, 3, GS 2 still you can cross 120 mark, but 140 is something very difficult in other papers. Here it is possible. And the answer writing relatively is different when it comes to ethics answers. Okay, one thing that I specifically tell people, when you're writing ethics answers, don't write in a mechanical manner, just 1 point number, 2 point number, 3 point number, 4, or just writing the dimension which everyone is writing, or let's assume you are also writing the same answer, I'm also writing the same answer, same dimensions, same question, same dimensions. Let's say that question was there, relationship between politics and ethics, right? Let's assume you wrote the same points, I wrote the same points, but let's say I want more marks, especially in ethics. What special I can do? Number one is the language part. Your language has to be natural. If you write as if you're writing an essay, a complete statement with some emotions and energy into it. Okay, I'll show you one of the question in which if I have to write a sentence, let's say it is about public servant or the question is about trust. How you can put normal sentence or a definition based quote, or let's say you're just writing any simple definition of any term. Instead of that, I'll try to write one sentence which is little energetic. People pay taxes to the government. In return, they expect something else. What is that something else? All the services, they provide legitimacy to the government. If these kinds of lines are there in the beginning or at the end, that makes your answer relatively better. Okay. Now, one thing I specifically said in the last lecture also, that whatever marks you people are going to get, let's say it's a 10 marker question. Out of 10, how many marks you can get at max? Huh? 9. Yeah, ideally 9, 10 also ideally, but practically it doesn't happen. People mostly get in the range of maximum 5, 6, or someone might be reaching 6.5, but not going beyond that, right? Otherwise, the score would have been 190, 200 out of 250. Nah, that's not there. Even the highest score is around 140, not more than that. Okay, so 6.5, that's the highest peak that you can reach. Now, which part of your answer depends on how much you're scoring. When you say you're going to get 6 marks approximately, let's assume the highest score possible is 6.5. Okay, or let's say 6 only, no confusion, round figure. Yes. So maximum mark depend first on, have you addressed the demand of the question or not? Okay, let's say you did not address the demand of the question, but you wrote so many good things. Good quote is there, good diagram is there, so many examples which others are not writing. You've written everything. But I asked you something else, you answered me something else. If this is the case, if I'm the evaluator, I'll hardly give you 1 or 2 marks. And if I'm not in a good mood, I'll give you 0 marks also. Because the demand is not addressed now. All those points are useless. Okay, so your core, your answer, when you're writing answer, when you're thinking about any question, the first thing that should come into your mind is, what is the core demand of the question? What is examiner asking me? What is that core essence of that question? This you have to address. If you have addressed it rightly, you're already in the range of 4 or 5 marks. If you have really addressed the question's complete demand, you have reached to that 4 or 5 marks. Now comes the role of extra value addition, which you do in order to compete and get to this 6 marks level. Okay, I know just 1 mark you people will feel, but 1 mark is enough, because entire paper you will at least gain 20 marks almost. Think about all papers, your rank 1 directly. Just think like just 6 papers, 4 GS, 1 essay, and then 2 more papers of optional. Every question, if you can gain half a mark more or 1 mark more, that's where people are getting rank 1, and that's the difference between a person who is not getting selected. Okay, so always we will first keep this thing in mind. Then comes second part, presentation, value addition, diagrams, etc., etc., everything. Okay, now these booklets which have been given to you. Okay, if you find anything wrong in this document, I'm responsible. If anything right in this, again I'm responsible. Now this document specifically I have prepared in a thematic manner to make your answer writing easier. There are so many examples given in this document, so many diagrams given. Okay, some specific dimensions which might not be available in your traditional books. Okay, many people come to me, sir, which book I should read and all. I say no book is perfect as such. Okay, just for reading, all books are good. No book is that bad. But if I have to prepare for such high score, then I need to have some extra content. I need to have some value addition points, some good stuffs, which I have tried to include in this particular booklet. Okay. So what you people need to do, if you're writing mains this year or maybe next year, and I assume you people have studied ethics to some extent. If you have studied already, this booklet you are able to understand. If you don't understand a little bit, you can do Google or simply ask the question here itself so that I can explain you. If you get confused with any of the point, I can guarantee not even a single word mentioned in this is useless. Okay, every single word is something that you can directly use in the answers. That's why it is mentioned over here. Okay, and I have prepared this using all the previous year questions, because I've gone through all the previous year questions. What is the core demand of each question I tried to understand, and based on that, minimum content that is possible. How many pages these are? 50 pages approx. This is your 50% of ethics. One more booklet you will get, remaining 50%. So hardly 100 pages, not more than that, within which we are having the content for answer writing for ethics, wherein you can deal with almost any question. Okay, any doubt about what we are going to discuss? Anyone, especially new students? No? Now last lecture, some people said, sir, we face some challenges with respect to answer writing. If I miss upon anything, just tell me. One is speed. You don't have a good speed. I can't help you, honestly. I can help you in one thing. One of the reasons why your speed is slow is because you think slow, or you take some pauses in between. When you're writing mains, you don't have time. Like you will not even wait for even a minute or let's say 30 seconds. You'll not stop your pen. You'll continuously be writing. So the speed of this and speed of this has to be same first of all. But this speed completely depends on how much have you practiced, how much have you thought about these topics already. Let's say the question is about law and ethics. What's happening? There's a repeated theme that I'll discuss today: law versus ethics. Yes, you people have studied about it. What is the difference between law and ethics? Huh? Ethics is more than law. Ethics is more than law. Okay. Law is written. Ethics is not necessarily written. Very good. Law punishes the consequence, not the intention. Very good. Once you commit an act, after that law is punishing. Ethics is giving you guilt even while you are doing that action. Yes, law is external, someone outsider who is punishing you or putting pressure on you so that you abide by the law. Ethics, it's not necessary that someone has to tell you something. Your own conscience will tell you that you are doing something wrong. Am I right? Yes, basic points which you can also recall, I can also recall. Now, this is a theme that is getting repeated multiple times. Now, if I already check all the questions they have asked on this theme, whatever dimension they are asking about, I have gone through that. After that, if I have written 3-4 questions on the same topic, ethics versus law. Now tell me, if I go in the exam hall and if I get the same kind of question, ethics versus law, will it be a difficult task for me? I can write that answer not even in 7 minutes, only in 4 to 5 minutes I can complete. Because everything is ready with me. I don't even need to brainstorm. Content is ready. Getting it? This is the level of preparation you can do, at least for those questions which are expected questions, which we know they will ask. There will be some questions which we can't expect. Like there's one question, many people will not even understand what the question is trying to say. Read this. Anyone just answer me what the quote means? Yes, is it visible to all? Yes, anyone answer?
For the larger cause, we can say like, we are created in front of people for the larger good sake of the people. Like
Okay.
Krishna did.
How Krishna did?
Like manipulating their strategy of opponents.
Good, very good. Yes, others, are you able to understand the statement? Who did not understand? Be honest. If you did not understand, then I'll explain. One person, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now see, right now you're not under pressure. You answered nicely, very good, but you're still not under pressure. In the exam hall, you'll be under immense pressure. Time constraint, then you're like, this is my life. If this paper goes wrong, everything goes wrong. So under that pressure, it becomes way more difficult to understand such quotes. Just stay calm and just deconstruct the statement and you'll start gaining the meaning of it. For example, what they say, falsehood takes the place of truth. Always when they use technical words, make it simple. Falsehood means someone is lying. Simple. Falsehood takes the place of truth. Opposite things. Falsehood takes the place of truth when it results in the unblemished common good. Now this unblemished word is a little complicated for many people. Unblemished means something that is very pure, which has very pure motivation. You don't have any self-interest in a particular action. If someone is doing something without any expectation, without any self-benefit in the mind, that action is unblemished action. For example, you were walking on the street, suddenly some accident happened and you suddenly went to help that person. Is there any self-benefit involved? That this guy must be rich, he'll give me some money after that. No, you just went to help. Now, that's unblemished, pure motivation. In your heart, there is no self-interest in your mind as such. You're doing it by heart. Okay. Now, if you try to read the statement, falsehood takes the place of truth when it results in the unblemished common good. Common good means something that is good for everyone. Okay, anything that is happening for the good of everyone. That is your common good. Now they are saying normally truth is needed for common good. Okay, now the statement is saying falsehood takes the place when it results in unblemished common good. What they are simply, if you have read something about deontology and teleology. Yes, what is deontology? Means you focus on the means of the action, that the process has to be right. Yes, Gandhiji style, Immanuel Kant style, that is focusing on the means of the action. You decide your action is right or wrong on the basis of the means you used. Okay, let's say I want to become an IAS officer. The means are I can prepare for the exam, or the other means is I'll take a gun, put it on the UPSC chairman's head and ask for the recruitment. or I can give money to Modi ji and get the recruitment done. Multiple means are there, but you judge my action as right and wrong only on the basis of the means I used. If I use the right means, my action is right. Am I right? If I use the wrong means, the action will be wrong. But teleology says it doesn't matter. End result is more important. Getting selected is more important. Through corruption, through violence, or through exam, it doesn't matter. Am I right? Now the point is, what normally people suggest? People suggest that we should follow deontological ethics. In the society, deontological ethics should prevail, right? Because most of the people, if you look at their IQ also, they are average IQ people, maximum majority people. So it's better if you provide them with deontological setup. So if you see, even religion teaches you ethics, and they provide you deontological ethics. They say, just do this, do this, don't kill, don't steal, don't lie. Simple statements, deontological. They're not telling you, think about the consequence and all. No. Am I right? Now this statement is about deontology. Deontological ethics says if the action is right, everything is right. But there is one exception in that. Tell me one thing, if I'm at my home, suddenly someone came to my door, knocked the door, and saying that, sir, please help me, otherwise these people will kill me. Don't tell them that I have entered here. I have an option to lie, or I have an option to tell the truth. What should I do? According to deontology, tell the truth. But if I tell the truth, what will happen at the end? Something wrong will happen. Violence will happen, that person will die, etc., etc. Okay. Now, in this particular situation, if instead of being honest, if instead of following the deontology, I consider this situation as an extremely exceptional situation, and then I say, I am going to lie in this case so that some common good can be served. Yes, I'm serving some common good, something good for entire society, something I'm doing by lying. So I have tried to create an exception in the deontological ethics. Make sense? Yes? Is there any self-interest involved in this? No. So is it unblemished? I said unblemished means no self-interest, pure motive. Right? Now try to understand this statement. Falsehood means I can lie, and this lying becomes truth, or it takes the place of truth if in case unblemished common good is happening. At the end, something good is happening, and there my interest was not involved. It's not like I did it with some selfish interest. If this is happening, even lying is okay. The example that he gave was the best example. For Mahabharat war, Krishna used manipulative tactics. Yes, that was deontologically 100% wrong. Yes, but we still say it takes the place of truth. It's okay. If the end result is truth, or if the end result is dharma, even the process or the means that we have used, even those are dharma, or that is also ethical. Clear? Or to simply say, if I have to write the same line in simple words to give the clarity to the examiner, I'll say there is an exception to the deontological ethics, and that is this one. Clear? Now, I assume this question is little difficult to understand. I understand this thing that I would say out of all the whatever questions, 13 questions they asked from theory mostly. So out of that, hardly 1 or 2 questions will be like this, which will be difficult to decode. But most of the questions will not be of this category. Okay. Now you just need some examples to quote in this particular thing. For example, let's see if we have some examples. Deontology, teleology. Look at all these examples. Just read it once. Tell me if there is any confusion on this part. Yes? Now one rule for you people. It's not like you will think about conclusion at the end. Once the answer is done last, we will just think whatever conclusion comes to the mind, especially if it is a quote-based question. So it could be in your ethics or it could be in your essay. If it is philosophical statement, you will think about the structure, you will think about the demand, but first think about the conclusion where I want to end this answer. What is my opinion going to be? Now we read this statement, falsehood statement. So statement is about either we should follow deontological ethics or teleological ethics. This is where the tension is, right? You tell me what conclusion you people are going to take. Don't tell me the exact concluding line, but what's the perspective you're going to take? Which ethics should prevail? Deontological or teleological? Huh? Balance. What is balance? Balance is difficult, na, sometimes. Someone murdered your family member. Tell me the balance then. There's no balance at some positions. Huh? Very good. Inclined towards deontology for most of the part. Why?
The majority of the problems should be solved by the right means.
Yes, majority of the problems will be sorted if we follow the deontological ethics. Majority of the people do not spend so much time on thinking, critical thinking, reasoning, because it's a time-taking process. See, if I have to evaluate, my action will have what consequence in future? Right now, short term, long term. You people are educated people. You people are preparing for this exam. You people are having good IQ. You can do it. But normal people can't do it. First of all, they don't have time. They have a lot of things to do now. They don't have time. Second, thinking requires a lot of energy. They don't have that also because they're putting it in physical work. Yes, some people, most of these people, because they have average IQ or some of them are even having low IQ, it becomes very difficult for us to expect from them that they will do critical thinking and all. That's the reason, because initially religion, which was dominating a lot on our total life, religion used the deontological ethics phenomena, and I think religion has been substantially successful. Yes, most of the people are religious and they do something right and wrong because religion just told them, don't do this, they're not doing it. Okay, so yes, deontological ethics should prevail in most of the cases, but we cannot apply it for every single role, for every particular action. There should be some exception given with respect to teleology. Okay, this has to be your conclusion before even you start writing answer. This should be in your mind that I have to end it somewhere over here. This is my perspective which I'll give to examiner. That I don't take side of deontology, I don't take side of teleology. But I understand that everyone cannot follow teleology, because if they start following, things will go horribly wrong. Yes, because they don't have the ability, critical thinking ability of that level. Not everyone has that. Make sense? Yes or no? Easy question or difficult question then? Moderate, I'll say. Difficult is very difficult. They're still not asking that difficult question as such. Okay, in the last lecture, those who did not attend, what we did, we started with this first theme. I've divided this theme into 2-3 parts. First part is about essence and meaning of ethics. So one specific question or one specific theme on which they are repeatedly asking the question. One is role of ethics. We discussed that part in detail. Role of ethics in the life of human being. So here, this thing we discussed. Yes, I hope others also are able to recall. Role of ethics in the life of an individual, in the relationships, organization, society, politics, international public administration. And in this also, what they have focused more on is individual human life, more focus, society, and third is public administration. One or two questions on politics part also is there. Right now they can ask, if this year if I have to think of, they can ask question specifically from this area. If they have to ask question politics ethics relationship, because in last 1 year we have seen politics ethics going completely against each other. So if I have to make a question, I might make like this. Now to answer, tell me, last time I said that your answer should start with context if it is from current affairs. If they ask on politics ethics relationship, one way I can start with a quote, a good quote if I have. Better ways, I start with some examples. Any examples? Tell me. Defections, okay.
Trump capturing
Very good. Trump capturing Venezuelan president. Worst example which you can see. Okay. What else apart from that? One more example. Epstein files. Again, worst example. Yes. So if you start your introduction with this, or else if you're not starting with it, at least in the body point somewhere mention these points. Okay. Clear? So we discussed role of ethics part in detail. We discussed some diagrams and all which we can make. Specifically, ethics in public administration is very important and why it is important. This part we have discussed. Then there was one more dimension that was asking this part. Where is this diagram? This part. Yes, are you people able to recall? The theme is a person should have knowledge as well as ethics. Instead of knowledge, sometimes they use the word skill, sometimes they use the word professional competence, yes, or sometimes they use the word intelligence. You should have knowledge, but if you have only knowledge and no ethics, it is problematic. If you have only ethics but not knowledge, that is also problematic. If you don't have both, you're a useless person. And if you have both, then you are the perfect person. In any field, whichever you are working, you are the best person for us. Okay, this applies for public administration also, civil services also. Ideal civil servant which they want is someone having the knowledge, skill, expertise, whatever is needed to handle any crisis. And the value system, wherein you will never compromise with few things, like integrity, yes, like compassion. These are important values which you will not compromise. This is the ideal civil servant UPSC should recruit. Practically, even they are not doing it. Because I have seen some people, they got into service, but very bad with this part. But they scored really good in ethics also. Okay, so answer writing is a skill that we will learn. Even if we are not ethical, we'll score high. Okay, these are the two types of questions that we discussed. Completely we discussed each question. Am I right? Yes, yes, no, no. So those who did not attend the lecture, just after this lecture, please attend that lecture. You'll cover this entire stuff. It's, we'll not waste the time, otherwise we'll be spending a lot of time repeating the same stuff. Okay, now let's go to that third part directly. Then we'll come to this part again. The last topic, third part of this theme, talks about constitutional morality. One of the most repeated theme. There will be question on constitutional morality in your GS paper 2 also. Maybe they'll ask the same question also. We don't know. Sometimes UPSC doesn't feel that these two papers are different papers. They consider all general studies are same papers. So they keep on changing, sometimes here, sometimes there. And they can ask constitutional morality versus social morality in essay paper also. Okay, one quote on constitutional morality can be given and you're expected to write entire essay because it's an important topic. Now, first of all, what do you understand by constitutional morality? What do you understand by morality before we head to the question?
Segregating good and bad.
What is good and what is bad? But this morality is different from ethics. Tell me in this aspect.
Ethics are individual.
It's more like objective.
Morality is individual.
Morality is individual. Ethics is for everyone. Whatever my society, I'll tell you one thing. Unless they use these two words together, if they're using it together, that means there's a difference. Otherwise, most of the times, we use these words interchangeably also. We say this is ethical, this is moral. It's the same thing. But when we are using both, there lies some difference. Ethics is about society, entire society, all the people, what all we think as right or wrong. That is common. Commonly, we all believe in the same idea that this is right and this is wrong. This is your ethics, common principles, common value system. Okay? But in this society, I might have a personal opinion and my value system. Maybe these are the 5 values that every person in India has. Tell me the values of Indian society that almost everyone has in Indian society. You don't know about India, that's too much. Yes, you ask Americans, they'll say India is a tolerant country. Yes, they come and attack you, you still don't attack, so tolerant, very good. Yes, compassion, okay. Inclusiveness. India believes in inclusiveness. That's why we have so much of diversity and we are still living together. Yes, diversity is also one of the values. These are simple things I'm trying to think of. Now see, these are part of India's ethics. Okay, I can have a long list also. But these are part of India's ethics. More or less everyone in India has these values. But individually, my personal morality could be that, sir, this is more important than these. I can have different set of value system. Yes, so morality is individual, personal beliefs, personal values, which might differ from the society. Okay. Now, if this is morality, tell me, how do you develop your morality?
Fundamental principles of legality as well as
Morality means what I think as right and wrong, what you think as right and wrong, personally. How did you develop that thought?
experiences in life.
By experiences, good. Family, very good. Upbringing.
Influence,
Huh?
influence of others.
Influence of others. Others means who others?
Like it might be idols or like
Religion. Is there influence of religion on us? Yes. Yes, what else? When you said others, nah, it's a very umbrella term.
it depends on our profession.
Profession, okay.
Geography.
Very good. Geography, because geography influences your religion also. Culture, society, education, very good. Someone studied from JNU and someone studied from WhatsApp University. There will be difference. Yes.
Movies.
Huh? Movies, very good. Movies, books. All these together develop your morality. One more thing you can add, even your conscience. Your conscience, your thinking. Some people think, some people don't think. There will be difference in their morality also. All things together drive my morality. Okay. Now, if I come to this constitutional morality part, specifically, we are talking about a morality which is constitutional. So the question is, first of all, just look at the questions, then we'll discuss the answer, how we can structure the answer. First is, what is meant by the term constitutional morality? Question number 1. How does one uphold constitutional morality? Simple question. How will you structure the question? Tell me the answer structure at least. Defining constitutional morality, let's say. 2 pages I have. So you'll write the definition in this much part. Okay, next. Next, what will you write? Done, you're done with constitutional morality.
3-4 points on why one needs it.
Very good. Okay, why one needs. That could be one dimension. And then next part is how to uphold. Because I don't think I'll have so many points to write only on upholding. From from here till here. So it's better I put it on second page. First page, I'll just talk about constitutional morality. You talked about why, I might talk about something else. Okay, I specifically would talk about this social or popular morality versus constitutional morality. What is the difference? That part I might talk about. Yes, or I can make some diagram and all. Constitutional morality, I just gave definition. I can make a diagram like this. First of all, I'll write definition, I said. Definition complete. Now I'll make a diagram. Constitutional morality. It includes values. Values like rule of law, liberty, equality, human dignity, see, I'm doing all these things just to get half marks more. Okay, maybe others are not writing, I'm writing this extra stuff. Then I'll talk whatever you said, why this is important and all, that part I can write. So entire page is complete with some examples also. Clear? How to uphold that, that's the second part of the question. Clear? Doubt? Yes, anyone, any doubt, please ask. Okay, because my intent is you should be in a position to at least deal with any question after these sessions are done. At least the moderate level questions. Difficult, everyone will find it difficult. Okay? Look at next question. Write a short note on this. Actually, this is not a 10 marker question. Sometimes they ask question like this. Question, they write something, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They give you 5 words. And for 10 marks, they expect you to write on all the 5 words. Constitutional morality, perseverance, etc., like 5 terms. You have 2 pages and you have to write about 5 different terms. So the space is very less. In such a time, what you will do, because you will hardly give how much space? Hardly I'll divide first, second, third I'll start, maybe here it will end, fourth, fifth. So you don't have much space as such. So in this case, what you need to do, just write the definition or a quote with which you can start. Write one example and if possible, make one small diagram, very, very small diagram. Maybe here at some corner I can make. This is the maximum stuff that you can write in such questions. Okay? So this was 2 marker, nothing great to write as such. This one is little interesting question. Please read this question first. Okay, if you have read, then tell me what is the demand? What do they want to know from you? Okay. Importance of constitutional morality for public servants. Okay. Tell me about that first line. You're talking about the second line to me. Yes? If they have given this first line, that means there must be something. They could have written directly from here, na? Examine the significance of constitutional morality. Why did they give the first line then? That means they want to know something from you with respect to that line also. Okay? So tell me about that then.
How the education and the role of law combining will enhance the constitutional morality.
Okay, you're saying how through education and all we can enhance constitutional morality. Okay, little bit acceptable.
It's a collective concept. It's a collective concept. Constitutional morality is collective.
Okay.
It's not like a blind thing to follow, but it evolved from the ethics itself.
It evolves from ethics itself.
Constitutional morality is not like the conventional thing to follow. Rather,
Okay.
it was like essential, it segregated all the ethics and morality as a whole. It will be ingrained in society to
Civil education and
Good. This is a good point.
About role of man, how we should promoting morality by civil education.
Okay. How many of you don't know what is constitutional morality first? Be honest. So that I'll discuss that. Okay. That's what I'm saying. If you don't know, just ask me so that I'll describe in brief. Okay. Our morality has different sources. I said I can learn my morality from my religion. Maybe whatever I think as right and wrong, that I completely learned only from my religion. My religion says this is wrong, I say this is wrong. Okay, this might happen. Maybe my morality is driven not by religion but by my family. Whatever my family taught, only I think that is right. Yes. So my morality, which is made through so many sources, out of that, which source is the final source of authority in my mind? That is very important to decide which kind of morality I have. If I follow everything what religion said, my morality is religious morality. Yes, most of the people, the kind of morality they hold on to, that is called as popular morality, or we use another word for it called social morality. Popular means people. What happens is we all are living together since childhood, upbringing, all the society with which we are living. So most of the time, we think what is right and wrong, which is exactly similar to what my society is saying. That is the natural popular morality. Tell me, isn't it very obvious for anyone to develop popular morality? It's very obvious, it's very natural. I can say it's very natural. Why? Because we all stay in society, we all stay with people, so their influence is there. So whatever they think as right and wrong, we also start thinking that is right and wrong. So developing popular morality or social morality is a natural thing because of the way we evolve, the way we live in society, etc. Okay. Now, constitutional morality. This is, first of all, not natural. Not natural because my society is not teaching me constitutional morality. My family is not teaching me. My religion is not teaching me constitutional morality. Okay. Constitutional morality, if you have, your value system will match with constitution's value system, not with your religion's value system. For example, on all these matters, tell me what religion says or what is religion's value system saying. What is their stand? And tell me what is the constitution and its value system stand. With only these examples, I can say what I want to say. If I hold on to this morality, I'll say, sir, triple tarak is okay. What is wrong in that? I'll say, sir, why Sabrimala women want to enter? This is not right, sir. Or I'll say, sir, LGBTQ, how can they have rights? This is nothing. This is unnatural thing, I'll say. If I have social morality or religious morality or popular morality, if I think this is as right and wrong. Yes, but someone holding on to constitutional morality, my value system is built through constitution's values, liberty, equality, human dignity. Someone who believes in human dignity and liberty, he will say, sir, they also have the rights the way you have the rights. They'll say, why they can't enter the temple? And you will say, sir, equality, sir. Triple talaq is about gender justice. You have right to give talaq, triple talaq, they should also have the right. Otherwise, no one should have the right. Simple. Am I right? So this is the difference between popular morality and constitutional morality. Clear? Now get back to the question. You see, they have asked the same point in this question. First statement is, constitutional morality is not a natural sentiment. That's what I said. Nobody's teaching us now constitutional morality. My family, religion, nobody's teaching me. It is not at all natural. Which one is natural? Yes, social or popular morality. This one is very natural for a child to learn. Any newborn child will easily learn this. This is not natural. But it is a product of civil education and adherence to rule of law. That means the statement is saying, how can we learn this constitutional morality? Number one, through education. Civil education means you're talking about civic education part. You teach the civic values to the children. Value education that we talk about. Okay. Second is when you adhere to rule of law. That means even if you don't like a rule, but Supreme Court, police will make you follow the rule. You want to give triple talaq, but police will arrest you. So you like, you don't like, you'll have to follow the rule of law. But by doing these things, either through education or through making compulsory through rule of law, we will slowly change your morality. With time, your morality will change. Is it making sense? Yes or no? That's the first statement. Now, are you able to understand the first statement? Yes? So even when I'm starting the answer, I'll first deal with this part because this is the core statement they have given. You don't need to give a lot of space to this part, but at least address this part. Those who are not addressing this part, that answer is incomplete. Getting it? Yes or no? Yes? So let's say, first of all, tell me, how would you define this constitutional morality? Someone tell me the definition. Yes, we are writing the answer, so first we will define it. Simple. How will you define?
Amalgamation of all values.
Amalgamation of all values. Which values?
Social, spiritual.
But my social values are very bad values. I believe in casteism. I believe in patriarchy. I don't have good values.
Which were like objectively treated in the constitution. Like main fundamentals of the constitution.
Very good. Okay. What else? Any other way to define?
Driven by constitutional principles.
Huh?
Morality driven by constitutional principles.
Morality driven by constitutional principles. This is a good basic simple statement which you can write as introduction. Or else if let's say I have to write, remember this part, this will make task easy for you. Constitution is the body and constitutional values, its ideals, this is its spirit. Constitutional morality is adhering to the constitutional spirit, constitutional values, complete adherence to the values, believing in those principles, and then in action also showing those principles. This is constitutional morality. Not just following the constitution, but its basic ethos, values, etc. Clear? So I should first believe that yes, equality is important. Some people don't believe equality is important. Okay? So I can define in this format also that it is the spirit of the constitution, or else there's one definition given by a person called as George Grote. You can remember his name and write it in the answers. Actually, this term constitutional morality was used by Dr. Ambedkar in the Constituent Assembly debate. He talked about it, and when he made the speech, he also used the statement of George Grote, who coined this term called constitutional morality. So you can write the same statement given by George Grote. I have written, yes, here I have written. Constitutional morality is paramount reverence to the Constitution, its spirit, and respect for its institutions. Paramount reverence. Reverence means it's almost respect. When you say respect, I respect you, you respect me, that is respect. Reverence means you put the other side above you. Okay, you respect me, but when it comes to your parents, you respect more. When it comes to God, there is reverence, there is no respect, because God is way above. There's no comparison. That's what we are saying. When it comes to constitution, its values, you keep it at at above everything. What my religion, what my this saying, it doesn't matter. Constitutional value says this, so this is highest. That's how I have reverence. This is the definition you can write, good definition to quote for constitutional morality. Okay? Yes? Then make this diagram. These are what my constitutional values are saying. But my social reality is this. You can add many examples into this. Untouchability, etc., whatever you want to add. So this is the gap that we see in constitutional values and the social values. Okay? Yes, at least this much we can write in this question, just to deal with that first part. Yes? Or you want to write one more line over there. Why social morality? Because the question specifically asks about see how I'm structuring this particular answer. First, I wrote the definition. Then I made a diagram. Okay, diagram which shows examples also. Okay, these two things I already did. Then I'm trying to focus on this statement that this is not natural but a product of this. This part, I'll just give one box and I'll, in 2 or 3 points, I'll write this part. That it is not natural because this is this, or social morality is rather natural for anyone, but constitutional morality is something that has to be cultivated or that has to be taught. Because naturally no one is learning it, so it has to be cultivated through education, through rule of law, etc. Simple. Did I address all the points? Yes. Then comes your second part, which you people were trying to go for. So how my structure of answer would be overall looking like. These are the 2 pages. This is where the definition and definition diagram, and the second part, this part, I have addressed the first statement. From here starts that next point, which was about public servant. Yes, the public servant part, if you see, examine the significance of constitutional morality for public servant, highlighting the role in promoting good governance and ensuring accountability in public administration. In public administration, role of constitutional morality. Okay, specific keywords they added is good governance and accountability. Yes, how would you write this part? Give me 1 or 2 examples or anything you can think of.
While dealing with the tribal conflicts or the aftermath, we have to be more transparent. Ashok.
Okay. What else? See, I'll tell you some tricks how to think on these questions. Anyone can write answer for this, not a big deal. But how to think so that quickly we can get examples or points. Number 1, they talked about good governance and accountability and for all the public servants. Okay, first of all, I'll always take broader meaning of public servant. They didn't say civil servant, they said public servant. What's the difference? Huh? Civil service is just one part of it. All the IAS, IPS officers, they're just part of public servants. There are so many other public servants. Tell me, army people, aren't they public servants? Yes, judges, NGOs or teachers. I'm talking about professions right now. Teachers, they are also, no? Okay, if you want to take only government hospital doctors, government teachers, okay. But they are also public servants is what I'm trying to say. Officially, they can be categorized as public servants. Can I take your MPs, MLAs? They are not public servants. Yes, if you read that Prevention of Corruption Act, in that definition, nowadays we are taking everyone. Okay, the definition there, they talk about public servant. If public servant does corruption, they will be charged under this. So people are like, sir, public servant means civil servant. MPs, MLAs. So Supreme Court interpreted as a term which includes many people. Clear? So whenever there is word public servant, take broader meaning. Now you will get more examples. Yes, think about more examples. Done. Second, they gave about good governance and accountability. I'll not even think about this. I'll just think about good governance because this will give me more points. So we have one topic called good governance in, I guess, seventh or eighth theme, seventh theme more or less. There we study about good governance. So there's a definition or one structure given by World Bank about good governance. So some 8 dimensions of good governance are given. Yes, any you can remember? Rule of law, transparency, responsibility, accountability, etc., etc. Now your task is number 1, that good governance part, all these 8. Use whatever mnemonic you want to, but try to remember it completely. Why? Because I have to just think about each value and just look for one example from any of these public servants. So I'll take all. My thought process will be, for transparency, I'll take this guy's example. Yes, for rule of law, I'll take this guy's example. Likewise, I'll take multiple examples. Yes or no? And specifically when I'll write about judges, I'll mention specific cases with respect to constitutional morality. Which cases? And these cases you must know for your GS paper 2 also and GS paper 4 also. Nalsa judgment, Shaira Bano case, Navtej Singh Johar case and Sabrimala case. Supreme Court in all these judgments has shown that it is adherent to constitutional morality. Because Supreme Court had to decide whether to take side of social morality or constitutional. Especially the confusion even lies even in the fundamental rights. 2 fundamental rights were in conflict: freedom of religion versus right to equality. And Supreme Court said right to equality is more important because as part of the value system of constitution, equality is more important. Clear? So I'll mention all these cases in the same answer. Yes? Now one more trick. Okay, you make the running notes, I hope you're making. You'll forget otherwise. When you have to think about examples, think negatively sometimes. We have to write about civil servant, for how for civil servant or for how for a public servant constitutional morality is important. Think about what will go wrong if constitutional morality is not there. Negative examples. Here I have a list, I guess. Yes. Judiciary worst example till now. Indian judiciary, if you want to criticize Indian judiciary, always quote this case, ADM Jabalpur case. Anyone knows? That emergency time. That was this ADM Jabalpur case. Worst decision given by Supreme Court till now. Okay, where they compromised fundamental rights completely. Okay, here I can say that if constitutional morality is not there, it might lead to injustice. For example, this. Just example, ADM Jabalpur case. Done. Okay. Or society-wise, honor killing, khap panchayat, untouchability, etc. So many examples are there. Nowadays, this vigilantism is quite common. Cow vigilantism. Mob lynching is quite common. Yes? So because people don't have constitutional morality, that's why they take law in hand. That's where mob lynching is happening. Otherwise, nobody is supposed to kill anyone. Even for justice, we are not supposed to do that. Yes? That's how we can build a good answer with so many dimensions and examples. Clear? So good governance, all the 8 points we'll discuss. Don't worry, we have that topic in one of the theme. There I'll discuss in detail. So now this question is very easy to manage. First part also and second part also. Clear? Yes? No? Yes? Good. Now let's go for a difficult question. Little difficult to understand. Read this question and tell me the meaning. This is a quote by Swami Vivekananda, and they have some favorites. UPSC has some favorite people. Swami Vivekananda, their favorite. Abraham Lincoln is their favorite. This Tiruvalluvar, I don't know why they like 2-3 people. They keep on asking multiple times their quotes. Okay. Then Socrates, Aristotle, they are their favorite. Okay. So don't worry. We'll in the moral thinkers part, we'll discuss that part also. Now answer. After today's class, complete this theme 1 part that is given in this document, read it entirely. Okay, and if possible, before exam 1-2 times try to read it, because it has so many examples. If you read 10 examples in the exam hall, hardly 3-4 you can recall. Okay, 2-3 you can recall on your own also, but there will be some good examples in this. Okay. Yes, answer. Yeah, what is this, sir? What Swami Vivekananda says we don't understand, only Donald Trump understands. Yes. What is the core meaning? Just in one line, if you have to simply say what he is saying. Ethics versus morality. The strength of a society lies not in its laudable ideals, but in the morality of its people. Hmm? Okay, to some extent. Obviously, I've put it in this category, so it must be related. I understand.
Lies not in a glorifying or famous ideologies, rather following it to the core.
This is actually criticism of the present government, it seems to me. Whoever wrote this question, it's like clear criticism, but without offending. What do we claim? When you say, those who are not understanding, just because of this word maybe. Laudable ideals. This means, laudable means in Hindi they call it prashansaniya, sarahaniya, which means which are good. You get a lot of respect if you talk about these values or these ideals. Those are laudable ideals. So in case of India, you see what we say, we are Vishwa Guru. Yes, we teach the lesson of this. We believe in justice. We believe in Sarva Dharma Samabhav. Tell me what all we claim. Whatever we claim that these are the ideals India stands for. Tell me whatever you can think of. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Hey.
We feel the world. Agricultural glorification, like saying we feed the entire world.
We feed the entire world. Okay. What else? Ideals. Tell me the ideals. Bhaichara, tolerance, fraternity. Diplomatic.
In war, we don't take advantage.
We stand for peace. Yes, that's what India says. We always stand for peace. We never attack anyone. Although in Operation Sindur we attack, but normally we stand for peace. Rules-based order. Yes, India claims that we believe in democracy and rule of law. We internationally claim, look at it, India is a developing country. We are part of third world, right? And in third world, you will rarely find anyone as democracy. More or less, there is no democracy. So we say India is an exception to the third world. That's where we claim we are democracy, rule of law, peace. This is something we claim. Okay, these are our laudable ideals. There is a long list again I can create. I'm just telling you few for understanding. Now tell me, what is the difference between these ideals and this morality of people, and what the statement is now trying to say? Now think about it.
Not becoming hypocrite.
Good. How? Explain.
As a society, explicitly, some can be seen and values can be seen. But
The whole society will run on the implicit morals. They will-
Okay. First of all, number one thing, do we claim that we, India, have these values, we believe in these values? Entire country says this thing, yes, we believe in this. That's why we are Vishwa Guru. We will teach the world. Okay. But in reality, what do you do? Now I'll show you your reality. Okay. Tell me India's reality. This is criticism of the government. You said democracy, sir?
Linguistic clashes.
Huh? Not just linguistic clashes. Huh? Criminals in politics. You call this democracy, sir? I don't call this corruption. Very good. Huh?
Censorship patriarchy.
I think we can take very good examples. This is something you read in your social justice part, society part, in your newspapers. You will get so much data and information on this which criticizes India very badly. Take all those reports on health indicators, what you're doing, on justice, press index report, worst, we are at worst position, press index. Huh? Happiness index, take whatever you want to. Now show them. Acha, you're tolerant. Show them the data of communal riots in India. Show graph. See, this is how communal riots are increasing in India. You call it a tolerant country?
Lack of women empowerment.
Then these incidents of hate speech in the last 10 years, if you can get a graph online, it will be available. Last time Indian Express had published hate crime. Note down these points, whatever I'm saying, that's your homework. Hate speech data. Okay, so there will be a comparison that every few years hate speech is rising. So you say you believe in brotherhood, fraternity, and what we see in reality, too much of hate speech and polarization in India. Right? So this is showing what you claim you are and what you are right now in reality. Now, why this difference is there? We claim so good, but in reality we are so bad. Why?
Lack of morals.
Lack of morals. Okay.
Just blindly
That's the
believing
same.
in
Huh?
everything in their own life. Just like blindly glorifying Gandhi's ideology, but not understanding it to the core and implementing in our life.
Very good. We're blindly saying that we believe in this, but not following. To be more specific.
Hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy, okay, to some extent, yes. Yes. Why? If you see the statement that is talking about the same thing, the strength of society lies in the morality of its people and not the laudable ideals. Even if you have very good ideals, which you claim, it doesn't matter. Is it bad to have such ideals? Never take that stand. That will be too extreme to take. It's good. What is so good? Because they set your aspiration that this is something we want to become in future. Naya Bharat, New India, which Modi ji claims. This new Bharat, we imagine when constitution makers wrote the constitution, they thought this India will have justice, fraternity, liberty, freedom, etc. Okay, so aspirational ideals, having such ideals, it's a good thing. It will motivate us to take some actions, right? So it's a good thing, nothing wrong. But just having this is insufficient. This is the dimension you people are supposed to answer. In your answer, this one should be one of your part. That's it. These are our laudable ideals, but these are not sufficient. Just having ideals will not make our society like that. Okay? What we really need is change in the morality of people. Morality means whatever every person feels right and wrong. Unless people feel this is right and wrong, okay, unless these aspirational values, these ideals become part of the morality of every person, all this is useless. People will claim, but they'll never reach there. Okay, here you can talk about this gap that exists. Knowledge, speech, and action. Instead of knowledge, you can write belief. What I believe, what I say, and what I do, it is not necessary that all will always be in the same direction. Sometimes there is a gap. I believe patriarchy is bad. When I say in the class, I say dowry is very bad. So both are going in the same direction. But when I'm marrying, now I want dowry. Action is not matching with these two. Okay, so there can be a gap, and that's the same gap that we see over here in this particular case, that people claim that these are our values, but they are not reaching there. In the action, they are not reaching there. So Vivekananda is saying this is because that value has not internalized in the human being. The value should become part of my core value system, which I'll never compromise. Unless it becomes a part of my core morality, it is useless. That's why he's saying the strength of the society lies not in its ideals, but the morality of its people. If that value is part of morality, the people will never compromise with that value. For example, for religion, the people in India are very serious. The day they will take human dignity also that seriously, then done. Okay, don't write this line. This will be again, we don't want to criticize religion in the paper, at least in India. In France you can do that, or China. Not in India at least. Clear? At least now are you able to understand the demand? What is the person trying to say in this statement? Anyone who did not understand, I'll repeat if you want. Any minor confusion on this line? Tell me, how will you structure this answer? Although 80-90% I already told, but still you tell.
Defining odd idea.
Very good. I can define ideals, or I can say India's. I can write one ironical statement. These statements give you good marks, I'll tell you. Use this in other GS papers also. In the introduction, write ironical statements. Just for the sake of example, ironical means what? On one side it looks like this, on the other side it looks like this. India says we are going to become $4 trillion economy, vision 2047, etc. On the other hand, poverty, hunger, etc., etc. So exact opposites I can show in just one statement. It looks very good. Okay. In this question also I can do the same thing. Yes, India stands for these laudable ideals, but what we face is this reality, in which I can give example of untouchability or whatever I want to give. Right? This could be one way I can introduce nicely. Or other way, as you said, laudable ideals. What do you mean by that? Simply defining it, giving 1-2 examples. Then defining morality, giving 1-2 examples. Both ways I can start this answer. Yes?
Also philosophical interpretation.
Tell me how would you write?
Like, as you mentioned, dealing with the like inner consciousness, inner compass, matching with the exact plus right.
Okay, that also we can start, no issues. Okay, are you able to now understand at least how we are starting it? Yes, best way, if you ask me, that ironical statement would look better than any other statement. And when the examiner just reads that one line, he'll know you have understood the quote. So if I'm in hurry, I'll just give you good marks and next. Yes, and evaluators are not interested in checking your paper. I'm telling you honestly, I've talked to so many such people, and then I've understood this thing, that the evaluator is not at all interested in looking at your copy, not even for 1 minute. If you give me that job, even I'll do the same. It's your job to make them read your paper, and that is only possible when you do something interesting. You highlight it nicely, make some interesting diagrams. That's where you'll attract me to read. Or if you have any good example, always make a box or highlight it somewhere. Okay, that's where you'll get more marks. Okay. Now, first we defined, then we talked about this idea. Specifically now, the core dimension that should start is why only laudable ideals are not sufficient. Okay, this is the core dimension that you will write. 3-4 points you can easily write on this now. Okay, why it is not sufficient. What will go wrong if only we adhere to laudable ideals? What will go wrong? Those points those examples. And then second, why it has to become part of morality, second dimension. That's how now I'm breaking this answer into two parts. Why this is not sufficient and why morality is needed. Or how morality can bring this change. Any, because such questions, they have not mentioned any specific question over there. So we don't need to worry, we can make any particular heading. Okay? And completely we are giving them idea that, sir, this is how things happen. At the end, the way you want to conclude, you can conclude with the same saying of Vivekanand. Hence, according to Vivekanand, the morality of people is more important. This is the same thing said by Buddha, Aristotle, Socrates, etc., done. Okay? Or one of the ways, bring it to any future oriented that we give sometimes, whether connecting with a civil servant or all the people. That all the people should strive for making these ideals as part of their morality. Something like this you can say. Okay, civil servant is not so suitable in this. Some questions I'll show where we can bring that particular conclusion and orient it towards civil servant. Okay, we'll discuss that. Any doubt on this question right now? Sure. Yes. Last bench. No expressions. Is anyone not understanding? Please ask. It's not necessary. People will say yes. Then when I'll ask them to write answers, then they'll be like, we are not getting anything. Done. This is our constitutional morality theme. I hope you're done with this now. Yes? Okay. Let's go to this theme. Oh, we have time. Dimensions of ethics and its relation with law, religion, dharma, etc. The final notes that you people will prepare, last one pagers, only make notes for these most repeated things, that too those things which you might not recall in exam. Any specific diagram, any specific example, or any specific keyword. Only that should be there in your notes. Otherwise, to read these notes are enough. But from these, eventually you hardly make total ethics, hardly in 10 pages you write it down. Okay, such crisp notes are needed so that at the end, before the exam, you can revise. You don't have much time, like GS3 paper, GS1, GS2 paper, then you'll be exhausted, you'll sleep directly, you'll not do anything. But next day, after GS3 paper, lunchtime, maybe in last 1 hour, if you want to just go through all those keywords, examples, then within 1 hour, you should be at least able to skim through it. So if you hardly have some 7, 8, 10 pages, or even less than that, that's much better. Okay. Now, this is one of the most repeated themes, law versus ethics. In these notes, I have discussed about law versus ethics in detail. Okay, you can check the notes. I'll just show you. Ethics versus law, some quotes are given. What is the similarity between these two? What is the difference between these two? How law tries to control you, how ethics tries to control you. Both are trying to bring some social control on you, but how their methods are differing. Some diagrams which you can directly make just after introduction, this kind of a very small diagram which you can make, wherein the core difference is law is bringing one limit, but that's a very small limit. It's like some minimum expectation is there from you. What is the minimum expectation? That don't kill anyone. Don't kill anyone, that is the minimum expectation of law. But ethics is like, Not just about killing. Don't even hate that person in your mind. So ethics expectations are too much. Law's expectation is very minimum. So we say minimum floor. Floor is the limit of law, whereas the ceiling is the limit of ethics. Somewhat like this, you can make a diagram. Okay. Now some examples are here. I'll discuss these examples also. And this combination. This combination is something you should be able to answer in the exam also. Wherein something that is ethical as well as legal. Law also says do this, ethics also says do this. Okay? Something that is legal but not ethical. Something that is not ethical and not legal also. And something that is not legal but it is ethical. I've given you many examples over here, making the task easier for you people to remember. But you should be clear. If they ask relationship between law and ethics, you should show all these 4 dimensions. Many people just make box, ethics versus law, just show the difference and they're done. I'm saying you should also make that box. But apart from that, additionally show this entire relationship. Okay? Where both are together, where both are not together, or somewhere they are together. All kind of relationship has to be shown in the answers. Clear? Look at this diagram also. This is the gap you can show that law is giving you a limit, putting some restrictions on you, but ethical standards are way above that. Law might say, don't cut the tree. Ethics will say, go and plant a tree. Take care of it every single day. That's too much. Okay? Now, look at this template to make your task little easy. The question type that I can observe in the entire trend is where they're asking questions comparing ethics with something. They're sometimes comparing ethics with law, sometimes they're comparing ethics with religion. Likewise, they can make the question. Just I'll show you some questions so that we can understand what they're expecting from us. Look at this question number, this 2024 question. Immanuel Kant's quote. Read this. Yes, it's talking about the same limit, the limit of law and what ethics is expecting from you. Yes, everyone able to understand? In law, man is guilty when he violates the rights of others. That means when you break a law, then only in law you are wrong. But in ethics, he's guilty if he only thinks of doing so. In your mind also, if you thought about it, without carrying out any action, ethically it is wrong. Okay, so what examiner is expecting? Show me the difference between ethics and this law. How both are different. That's their expectation. Okay. Next. Read this one. This I'll discuss in detail. But right now just have an overview. Potter Stewart. He's actually a judge, I think, from USA. Anyone tell me the meaning of this statement?
Ethics is about having wisdom, like how to use the rights.
Ethics is?
Having like wisdom, how to use like, in a proper way. Right?
Okay, good.
Ethics versus right things.
Good. See the difference. It's just a word play they're doing. What I have right to do. That means legally, what is allowed? Legally, what is allowed to do? That is my right to do. I have right to freedom of speech and expression. I can say whatever I want to. That is a legal right I have. Yes, freedom of movement. I can go anywhere. I can live anywhere. All these are my rights. This is my right to do. So if I take just the same example of freedom of speech and expression, the first what I have right to do is I can say whatever I want to. I can express myself. When I say whatever I can even do this. Abuse someone, defame someone. Am I right? Because this is freedom. I'll do whatever I want to. My life, my choice. But ethics will tell you don't do these things. Now there is a loophole. Even you will say, sir, even law doesn't allow you to abuse and all. But there are some loopholes. Loopholes through which you can say something without getting an FIR registered against you, which many people do sometimes. Yes, they abuse, but in a way that you can't file a case. That's a loophole sometimes. So this is where I'm saying, right might tell you what I can do, but it is the ethics which is telling me that what is the right thing to do over here. For example, even if not this, many people, when they speak, they are little insensitive towards the weaker section. Last year there was a controversy, last year, one comedy show. Yeah, somewhere in a show. This was the problem. Insensitivity in some of the comments that were made or some of the jokes that were made. Whatever their intention might be. Maybe the intention was just comedy. But there was some insensitivity towards the kind of statements they were making that were not so good towards some people. Okay, sometimes towards weaker sections, sometimes towards others. Okay, now this is okay, that comedy show, even if we keep it aside, you can see the society in which many times you'll see people, they make many statements wherein it's clearly visible they are insensitive towards many handicapped people, minority people. They show this insensitivity. You just go outside, some guy came to you asking for some money, and some people will behave like, no, I don't have money. They'll say it like this. Some people will behave very badly with that person. That shows insensitivity. Okay, that's what I'm saying. There is no law which is stopping you from doing that action. No law will put you in jail for misbehaving with that beggar, because legally you did nothing wrong as such. But ethics tells you what is the right thing to do. This is the core essence of that statement. Makes sense? You can write the same example also. Clear? Next. This one, 2016. Read this one. The exercise that we're doing here in the class, this is something you were supposed to do on your own. In the preparation, everyone is supposed to take the PYQ, study on your own, try to understand what to write, then write the answer, then check the model answer. So I'm just spoon feeding all these things to you people. But one thing you will have to still do after this, read the notes and then try to write the same questions, try to write the answers. Then your preparation stage will be better than others. Okay? So tell me, what are they asking in this? It's more or less the same thing actually.
Role of law and ethics.
Role of law, role of ethics. Again, how do they achieve this objective? What is this objective? They're considered to be two tools for controlling human conduct. So law controls you, ethics controls you. How do they achieve their target? So what is their method? Method is something they're asking. Giving examples show how the two differ in their approach. Same thing they're asking. Nothing new. Then here you have one question, law versus ethics. Just 2 marks question. Okay, clearly it shows multiple times they are expecting same thing. Okay, now you can use this one template which is easy just for brainstorming while writing different dimensions. What happens after 2-3 dimensions, you will not recall more. So how to think? For that, this kind of template might help you in the final paper. Okay, without this also you can write decent answer. This will just save your time in thinking process. How to think? If they ask ethics versus anything, this anything could be law, ethics versus morality, or ethics versus religion. They'll not ask beyond this. Okay, I don't think even they'll ask ethics versus religion also. Mostly they'll focus on law only. Okay, or most probably they can focus on ethics versus morality. Okay, everyone knows the answer, but to structure it better, to show more differences, you can use this kind of a template. Look at this, just have a overview. What is the nature? Nature of ethics and nature of law. What is its origin? See, it's not like you'll get point for each word. This structure will help you generate more points. Maybe I'll get points for 4-5 points only, 4-5 parameters only. But at least 5 more points I have as compared to others who are writing just 2-3 points. I'll get more points. So first think what is their nature or their origin. This is one way. From where morality, from where ethics is emerging and from where law is emerging. Law is coming from state, ethics is coming from, yes, family, culture, or more or less we can say society. Society is the origin of ethics. Then what is the process they follow? The process law follows is of punishment. Law gives you punishment. Ethics gives you guilt. Yes, sometimes punishment also, but most of the times it is the inner guilt or stress that you develop. Yes. Then what is the focus? Focus of law is on what and focus of ethics is on what? Law just wants basic order in the society. Yes. Law doesn't care you become good person and all, they don't care. Just follow basic rules. That's the expectation. Ethics wants you to become a very good person. Just law and order is not enough for ethics. Yes. Then how do they control you? That's the same question which they have asked multiple times. How do they control you? The diagram I showed you. What is their scope, objective, what is their strength, what is their weakness? If you violate it, what will happen to you? What law will do with you? What ethics will do with you? Or is there any flexibility? That means, is it strict or there are some changes? Like in law, there is no flexibility. Law is very strict. Ethics sometimes keeps on changing or some gray areas are there in ethics. Right? With this structure, I can generate more points. So I've just tried to write here for ethics and law. Nothing new. You people can also write nothing new as such. At the end, try to write one example and try to show the relationship between these two, law and ethics. That's how you generate multiple points. Clear? So do one thing, just write down this template and try to remember, because there is a possibility wherein they'll ask this question. Just to generate points. It's not given in books, huh? That's why I'm saying right. Done? Now look at this question which is answered by one student. Same question: in law, a person is guilty when he violates the rights of others. In ethics, he is guilty if he only thinks of doing so, said by Immanuel Kant. Okay, just have a quick reading. The statement by Kant makes a distinction between ethical and legal responsibility. He attempts to bring intentions behind the actions as the core test of ethicality of the same. In law, man is guilty if he violates rights of others. So just few examples: trafficking, piracy, copyright violation, untouchability, etc. Then in ethics, man is guilty if only even thinks of violating rights of others. First, Kant's categorical imperative. I hope you people must have studied categorical imperative. If not, okay, in moral thinkers, I'll discuss this part. Okay, one example given: racist bias in different treatment of refugees from Syria and Ukraine from Europe, by Europe. Second, harboring ill will, negative prejudice, hate speech, cyberbullying. Inaction or passive neutrality, bystander apathy. Okay, superiority notions, disregard for past mistake, white supremacy, apartheid. Insensitive stance against vulnerable, patriarchal mindset, objectification of women, indiscriminate use of resource through legal, not ethical, goes against environmentalism. Now next dimension is other side of the coin. Going against unjust laws can be ethical. Unintended consequences, when negative outcomes not intended, can be excused as honest mistakes. Hence, Kant's notion of intention broadens the discourse. What is this? Around meaning of ethics. See, I'll say this answer is decent answer. We can write way better than this also. This is still decent answer. You can score good if you're writing this kind of answer. Okay, further to enhance. This is the core dimension. The answer that I showed you, that person also talked about intention. That in ethics and law, where the difference is lying is in the intention part. Because ethics is judging you on the basis of your intention, which was in your mind, which you did not act, but still it was in your mind. So why intention matters? You can explore this dimension in the answer. What intention makes as a difference. And now in this, those people who say that, sir, I want to score really good, I say bring natural writing. Natural writing means just the person who wrote that answer, that is decent answer, but if I have to bring way more better answer, I'll bring natural language. Natural language in the same point, that sir, why intention matters. How will you say? These are the points: reveals character, etc., etc. Okay, but I'll write in a natural language manner which brings some emotions. How I'll write? Got it? What I've done with this statement is I've given an example which you are giving. What you are doing, just one line and then example you are quoting. I wrote the example in the statement itself. Second, I brought some emotions and energy into it. Whoever reads this line, he'll feel wow, maza aa gaya. That wow element will give you marks in ethics. Okay, that's why many times I say this to people, that UPSC actually is not expecting much knowledge, because the depth of ethics subject is too much, and people are writing of this level. Depth is, let's say you can go to any depth, but UPSC is not even expecting that level of depth. Even if you know how to play with words and write nicely, bringing some emotions on the paper, this will definitely give you more marks as compared to other students. Okay, this is 140 answer. 90, 100 crossing people, they just stay with mechanical answer writing. Okay, if you start your statement like this, then add those points which others are also writing, but highlight this part. Examiner will definitely read such line. Clear? Yes, so this is how you show this dimension of why intention matters. Then one more thing you people can do. Whenever they ask about ethics versus law, that means they are asking for difference. You do one thing extra, you show them the similarity also. Just one small box like this, and just tell them, so this is the similarity. Don't disturb the answer. That means you were writing like this, then you made a heading, you were writing like this, like this, like this. I'm saying don't disturb the flow, because the examiner is checking in the flow, he should not get disturbed. Just on the side, just make one box and mention that. They didn't ask, you just gave extra knowledge. Okay, this is additional thing. Clear? This kind of easy diagrams, these are very simple diagrams to make. These examples are important. Quote these examples specifically. Legal but not ethical. For example, marital rape, which is being discussed since last some 6-7 years. I can continuously read in newspapers. Someday or the other, they start discussing marital rape issue. Okay, so here we see there is a legal vacuum. Legal vacuum means law is saying nothing. Law is neither saying it is a rape and it is not a rape. There's a confusion whether technically we should consider marital rape as rape or not. So this is where we have legal vacuum. Here, if we have to decide what is right and wrong, only ethics can tell us. Law is not speaking at all on this. Okay. Then recent Prime Minister's appeal not to buy gold, go for foreign trips and all. Did he legally stop you from buying gold? No. Did he legally stop you from going to other countries? He can't stop. We have Article 21. Again, that right to do and what is right to do. There also I can quote the same example. I have right to go to the outside countries, but because the Prime Minister said in India's national interest, I'll not do it. That's my ethics telling me. Clear? Then abuse of legal discretion. This point, try to write in as many answers as possible, because UPSC is specifically, even in your interviews, they are trying to check, when you get the power, are you going to abuse the power or not? This is something they want to test even in the interview. So in the mains also, if you try to show it, sir, I'm a good person, sir, I'll not abuse the power. So specifically write this point. You will abuse the power specifically when you get discretion. When there are specific rules, you have to follow the rules. But when rules are saying nothing, you have scope, there is a high chance of abuse. For example, government goes for president rule, government goes for emergency. This recent controversy regarding a bill, this Tamil Nadu case. Yes, have you read? Tamil Nadu governor did not give assent to the bills. Multiple years they kept on passing some bills and he was not taking any action, neither giving assent nor saying anything, just sitting on the bill. And yes, almost veto they were trying to do it. Then the assembly passed it again. That's something unique we have seen, because never we had saw that assembly passed a bill 2 times without even governor saying anything. Right? And then he said, no, I'll send it to the president. This is pure discretionary misuse of power. You can directly criticize governor here. Although I normally suggest don't criticize politicians and all these people, but this is clear-cut violation of constitutional principles. I will criticize Tamil Nadu governor. Huh? Not BJP. I'll not write BJP. I'll write Tamil Nadu governor. Tamil Nadu governor case. Just speak in a diplomatic language. Say the same thing without offending. Okay? Always remember in ethics paper, if something is absolutely wrong, you should not have any fear to write it, unless it is Modi ji's name. Okay?
It's absolutely
Huh? Means don't mention Godra rights, na. You can mention Godra rights, but don't mention his name. Simple. Okay? Then government goes for censorship, misuse of Armed Forces Special Powers Act. There are some examples from the newspaper. There's this temple in Rajasthan, Khatu Sham. So there one person having some medical emergency, and that time a local hotel charged rupees 800 just to use the toilet. This is the discretionary misuse of power. Okay, so these are the examples which people will not write. You can write that. Or during this Indigo crisis that happened just few months back, all the airlines, they increased the prices suddenly, 60,000 rupees, 70,000 rupees ticket. Yes, for few days, till the time government intervened. Till that time, they tried to make profit from that situation, right? Then this was your ethics versus law. Similar to ethics versus law, you have ethics versus religion also. You use the same template to get those points for the ethics versus religion also. Okay. Diagram I've given here. Normal diagram, nothing new. There's one more word. Are both same? They're not same, or they are same? Some people say they are same. I Sanatan Dharma, someone said. That speech, what is this? Who is that politician in Andhra? Andhra Telangana. Right. Pawan Kalyan. See, in your answers, whenever you want to talk about ethics, because you will be using the word many times. Sometimes you'll use ethics, sometimes you'll use morality. Sometimes make use of this word. You can interchangeably use this word also. Okay? Dharma word has multiple meanings, and one of the meaning is ethics. One of the meaning, for example, one meaning, direct meaning that when you read these scriptures and all. So dharma is, first meaning of dharma is your qualities, inherent qualities of anything. Let's say they say that the nature of fire is to burn. Fire by nature, it's not like fire has any enmity with you as such. But its nature is to burn. If you go close to fire, you will get burnt. That's its nature. So anyone's dharma shows its nature or qualities. That is one interpretation or meaning of dharma. Okay? Second meaning of dharma is your duty, or what you call as ethics. What is ought to do. Okay, this is the main meaning that is prevalent in most of our texts. You read Ramayana, Mahabharata, etc., etc. This is the core meaning they are trying to take. That Arjun, this is your Kshatriya dharma. This is something you're supposed to do. This is your duty or ethics. Follow your ethics. Right? And the third meaning, which is very narrow meaning of this term dharma, is religion, which many people take. Okay? In the paper, can you use this word? Yes, you can use this word. Can you use the word Sanatan Dharma? Yes, you can use that word also. But use it wisely. Unnecessarily don't use such words. Exactly where it makes sense. Okay, if I'm writing a philosophical essay, I'll definitely use that word. But in a way that the examiner will be very happy. If the examiner is leftist or rightist, still he will give me marks. I'll ensure that. It should not look tilted towards a particular ideology as such. Make sense? Otherwise, I've seen some essay copies. Many people send some copies. I can tell what is your religion after that. Just after reading Buddha, 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 hey, you're Buddhist. Continuously, Buddha and Ashoka and these examples you're giving. Give other examples also. No? Don't be one-sided. Okay? And if you're quoting religions, deliberately quote multiple religions and don't just quote Indian religions. In India, which we call as dharmic religions, Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, these are dharmic religions. There are Abrahamic religions also. So quote them. See, there will be some good things there also. Just need to quote that. Okay? In the values part, I'll discuss that. The next theme is about values. In that, we'll talk about the values you can learn from different religions. Okay? And use it extensively. It looks good. Okay? But not one religion. Then it shows that you are biased. Clear? Okay, let's go back to the questions again. Is this exercise helping you people or just we are doing time pass? It's important anyway. Okay, which all questions we did? We have some time. Okay, let's do something new. This is little interesting question. Recent one. Now you people will answer. Make the structure if you want to. Yes, you're supposed to make the structure. Please come here. Medium. Okay, anyone just tell me the core demand of the question. What are they expecting from us?
Before implementing a policy, one should think about the purpose as well as rational.
Okay, before implementing policy, one should rationally think.
Objective plus rational.
Okay.
Social re-engineering
Yes.
is working against the prevailing social popularity.
What? Repeat.
Social engineering is changing the structure of popularity.
Okay.
Through social welfare scheme.
For any kind of social re-engineering, by successfully implementing welfare schemes, a civil servant must use reason and critical thinking in an ethical framework. Justify this statement with suitable examples. First of all, think about social re-engineering. What do you understand by that?
Traditional ideology.
Social re-engineering. I'm not talking about traditional. Huh? Existing social? So what will you do with the existing social structure?
Improving the social events with stigma,
Hmm?
destigmatization. Don't put all of it.
Have you heard this term ever, or you're reading this term for the first time? Yes, Google if you want to, and just understand the meaning of this term, social re-engineering or social engineering.
Bridging the gaps,
Bridging the gaps between what?
inequality or upbringing or removing the
Okay,
discrimination.
okay.
Basically to bring in the ideal country.
You're close to that, but not hitting the point rightly. There are some structural problems in our society. First of all, do you understand what do you mean by structural problems? Tell me first, what do you understand by that?
Issues in religion, patriarchy,
Very good.
hijab, that employment, uniforms, and
Huh? Caste discrimination, okay.
gender discrimination.
Tell me all the major problems of Indian society.
Corruption.
Very good. This should be your priority. Huh? Good. Migration, okay, nah. I also migrated. Huh? Patriarchy, good. Superstition.
Corruption, middle man.
Corruption is a major problem.
Discrimination.
Huh?
Discrimination.
That's inequality. I'll cover that.
Unequal development.
What? Unemployability. Okay, that fine, good point. Huh?
Environmental degradation.
Good. Environmental degradation. That's again a problem. What else? Huh? Population is a problem. Okay.
Marriage as a concept.
Huh?
Marriage as a concept.
Marriage as a concept is a problem. Very extreme opinion. Some people like marriage.
Financial management of
Huh?
financial management of a country.
But still, it's going well now. We're still not in any problem. We don't need IMF loan right now.
They are not completely self-reliant.
That nobody is. Which country do you see is self-reliant? America is not self-reliant till now. Depends on China so much.
Jobless growth.
Jobless growth, yes, very good. Hey, you people give economy answers good. Huh? Yes, jobless growth could be one point. That's a structural issue. But that's not society's issue. That's our economy's issue. We're focusing on society. Good. In that same, I can bring this marginalization of some sections. Some sections, we are still not considering them as part of society, or they are not treating them rightly. Civic sense, okay. Things work even if there is no civic sense. Not that big problem, I'm saying. This is more important. Priority, in the priority scale, this is more important. Yes, poverty, people are directly dying now. That's more important. Inequality, people are dying because of that. So we'll focus on those major issues. Huh? Very good. This is a major problem. Or I can say, point number 5. We have this issue of hunger. If you observe, whatever I'm asking is your syllabus. If you check your social justice topics.
Financially.
Yeah. Okay, to some extent, right. But again, it's an economic problem, not social problem. I'm asking social problems.
We are nutritional deficit, not hunger.
You sure? Huh?
But feeding 90 crores people.
There are types of hunger. One of the type of hunger is I'm getting food, but not having the right nutrients that I need. That is also hunger. There's something called hidden hunger, we call it. Obesity is also a kind of problem. That is part of hunger nowadays.
Obesity.
Yeah, obesity, but still it's a rich people problem.
Non-communicable disease, health,
Okay.
economic, dropouts, school dropouts.
School dropouts, okay. Why dropout is happening? Somewhere reason will be one of these. Try to understand, you'll give me a list of 100 issues, and if we try to link the points, we'll get to know in the structure of India there is some problem. Structure means system. Indian system, the way it works, society system. In that system there is some problem because of which these problems occur. For example, dropouts, you said. School dropouts or less enrollment, something like this is happening, or attendance is less, or many students, many children are not going to school. This is the problem. If I try to see the structural reason behind that, either the reason is or rather to say a mix-up of both. This is one of the core reasons they don't come to the schools, right? And this is something we tried to address with one scheme we brought. Am I right? So one who thought about this midday meal scheme, he tried to address this problem through one particular solution. Okay, even specifically in this dropout rate, girls dropout rate is higher. Reason behind that is not having separate toilets for females in the schools or their premises. Why it is not there? Because our society is patriarchal. We don't even think about women. That's where the thought process is leading towards all these issues. So overall, it comes down to the structural problems, and if we can destroy the structural problem, we can make a very big impact on the society. Getting it? Now look at the question again. When I'm talking about social re-engineering, when you try to do social re-engineering, you try to deal with this structure. You're trying to make changes in the structures of society. Any structural problem is there, you're trying to solve that problem. Okay? Now, how to solve that problem? At policy level, by public servant. That's your job. But for that, first you have to understand structural problem now. School dropout is less. There must be that guy who thought that, okay, hunger is a problem. For that, he used critical thinking, reasoning, only then he could understand. Otherwise, normal person could not understand. Why drop out? Why drop out? Maybe that person could not have reached to that stage. And when he thought about that creative idea that let's implement midday meal scheme, more students will come. And yes, it is one of the most successful schemes India has brought. Okay? So this question is hitting this point. Midday meal scheme is the best example of this statement. Now see, for any kind of social re-engineering, if I want to change our society, I want to make changes in the structures of our society by successfully implementing welfare schemes. A civil servant must use reason and critical thinking in an ethical framework. They're saying, if you want to do this thing, you have to make use of reason and critical thinking. Now tell me, if not this, what else can I use? If not reason or critical thinking, what's the option I have?
Morality.
Morality, okay.
Compassion.
Empathy, huh? Okay, let's discuss this part. Where I have written this part. Yes. Your morality or ethics. How do you reach to something as right or wrong? Don't consider now ethics and morality as different terms. I said when we are using generally, we can interchange them. Whatever you consider as right and wrong, how do you reach to that? You can use different methods. One method is to reach to it through reasoning, through critical thinking. Reasoning means what? You make use of logics. Logically, you try to think, okay, this looks black. Okay, black means it should be this thing. It looks white. This must be this. Let's check. Let's make some experiment. Let's try to know these things. Scientists are using critical thinking method, logical method. Yes, your mathematics is a logical subject. Philosophers are using logics to reach to their philosophy or conclusion or theory. So it's not random. It's purely based on logical thought process. And humans have the reasoning ability. Yes, that's why we say we are rational beings, because we can use logics to reach to a conclusion. So a bureaucrat was sitting and thinking about this problem of school dropouts. He looked at why this is happening, why this is happening, why this is happening. Eventually he reached to the conclusion, okay, people don't have food to eat. Okay, that's where he came to the conclusion, we have to hit to this side. Then only we will solve this problem. Getting it? So this is where we make use of reason or rationality to come to the conclusion about what is right and wrong. This is something we call as rationalist way or morality, which comes from your reasoning. Some people support this kind of morality, that morality should come from reasoning ability only. Through reasoning only we can reach to what is right and wrong. Okay. Second way is to come to a conclusion not by using your reasoning, not the mind, but your heart or the feeling part. Something that we say is sentimentalist view. Morality which comes from your emotions or your guts. Where your gut feeling says this is right or this is wrong. Sometimes you don't think what is right and wrong, you just feel it. This is the feeling part. Some people support this idea. For example, there's this person, Carol Gilligan. She talks about ethics of care. In the Moral Thinkers, I'll discuss about this part. For this, I take one simple example to tell you reason-based and care-based. So, idea of justice is reason-based. How do you reach to justice? By thinking and all. Yes. So let's say you did something over here. You are fighting with one of your friend or someone. You went to your home, and now your father wants to do justice with you. So you slap this guy 10 times. Now your father will slap you 10 times. Justice done. Proportionate justice. Okay. So this is rationally I reach to the idea of justice. But you meet your mother and she will not do justice with you. She'll be like, it's okay, beta, it's okay. Okay. So this is ethics of care coming from emotions. For her, ethics is different. Getting it? So when you decide what is right and wrong on the basis of your sentiments or feelings, this is one way. Other way is through reasoning. Both ways I can reach to what is right and wrong, and maybe both are conflicting. It might happen that both are conflicting. For example, if I take example of capital punishment. You understand capital punishment? So it is right or wrong according to just the idea of justice through reason, if we think. Through reason wrong or right? In worst case only, I'm not taking normal cases. That someone stolen something and we are giving capital punishment, I'm not suggesting that. Extreme case, Kasab like example, Nirbhaya case, such examples. Yes, justifiable to some extent. But someone coming through sentimental morality, that person will say no. Or maybe someone might say yes also. If you ask Nirbhaya's mother what should be done, she'll not think logically. She'll just think, she'll go with the emotions, and the emotions will say, kill this person on the spot. Right? Or someone like Gandhiji, if you ask, emotionally Gandhiji might say, don't kill, everyone is good. Hate the crime, not the criminal, something like this. Okay. This sentimentalist morality is little subjective. It varies from person to person. First of all, it varies from person to person. I don't know how you will feel and how you will feel. I don't know. Second thing, even emotion dependent morality can be very dangerous sometimes. For example, a mob was angry and suddenly the mob killed a person. That is angry mob trying to do justice through emotions, mob lynching. Anger based, that is through emotions. Fear based, sometimes people do discrimination, or let's say hatred based morality, we say. All these are words that I'm trying to use to show that it can go wrong, specifically violence that happens. due to hatred towards a particular community. That is emotion. For that person, he is doing justice. For Kasab also, he was trying to do justice. If you ask Kasab, he will say, I am trying to do justice. These people are bad people. I am establishing dharma. That's what he's saying. But it is again emotion based, not reason based. So the problem with sentimentalism is it can be very much subjective. If we go by emotions, it's not necessary it is wrong always. It can be right, it can be wrong also. Okay? But if we go by the method of reason and critical thinking, here it will not be that subjective. Subjectivity is removed because you think in a rational manner and I think in a rational manner will reach to the same conclusion. 3 plus 4 is 7. You go to India, go to America, China, it's same. Why? Because reason based. It is purely reason based. Logically we are thinking. There are no emotions involved, so no subjectivity is there. Okay? Now specifically the question that we discussed, it also talked about role of reason and critical thinking. Think from a public servant's perspective who wants to do social re-engineering. How he can make use of reason and critical thinking. If he has a reason, he can identify the root cause behind any problem. What is that core reason because of which this problem is existing? That's how through this reasoning ability he can reach to that problem. Once he reaches the problem, now he can come up with some solution. Okay, let's say we are already running a scheme. Let's say it is Manrega scheme or any other scheme, Ayushman Bharat, etc. Whether that scheme is actually leading to the right benefits that it is supposed to give or not. For that, you need critical thinking ability. Critical thinking means you start questioning everything. You think critically. Critically means you don't criticize everyone. Criticizing and critical thinking, these two are different things. Critical thinking means you question all the beliefs, all the thoughts. Any traditional thought is there, you will question that. Okay, so when you question, you'll say that, sir, okay, Manrega scheme is there, sir. I'll question, sir, is it reaching to the right beneficiaries or not? Has it made the right things or not? Are there any problems into it? Is there transparency or all the money is being taken by the bureaucrats? This is where I'll ask the questions. And with these questions, I can make the scheme implementation better. Right? So now if you go back to the question, yes. For any kind of social re-engineering by successfully implementing welfare scheme. They're specifically mentioning that point. When you're implementing a specific scheme, the reason and the critical thinking, how does it come into picture? Yes, reason will come into picture in knowing the root causes and all. And critical thinking will come into picture in doing the audit, periodic review of those schemes, finding out the problems in the scheme. Yes, right now we have this PDS scheme through which we are providing benefit to many people. But there are so many corruption things are happening with respect to that. Many people who are supposed to get the benefit, they are not getting it. Rest are getting. We have reservation. And we have seen, I gave this example earlier also, that in SC community, specific castes, they are getting more benefit. Okay, there was last data that was, I don't know which newspaper, they published that data. They said that every state-wise they mentioned that in Maharashtra, this caste is taking all the benefit, other SC group, they are not taking benefit. Telangana, this caste group is taking all the benefit, these castes are not taking the benefit. So even within SC community, there is high inequality that was existing, right? So this is where what we need is to understand whether reservation is doing right thing or not. You have to periodically review that. That's why that Rohini commission, yes, Rohini or what? Yes, Rohini, Justice Rohini committee was set up to check whether we need to recategorize. Yes? So this is something I'm saying, this is where we are making use of reason and critical thinking. Clear? Are you now able to understand what is the expectation of the question? Obviously, these are difficult questions to understand sometimes, but this is the core expectation from the examiner, that you hit this side. Show me that, yes, the morality can be sentimentalist based also. And when you're trying to implement schemes and all, emotions are not important. You have to be using reason. You have to be using critical thinking, because this is implementation part. See, when I'm making policies, that time I'll have to have emotions also, like empathy and all that is based on emotions. So there I'll need that. But overall, when I'm dealing with these structural problems, because I have to solve these structural problems, there what my emotion is saying, that's not important. Clear? Yes or no? Done? All the good schemes which you are anyway reading in some or the other subjects, you have to just utilize it here rightly. Okay, the content of your social justice part, social issues part, that will be utilized very nicely over here. Okay, in some answers, don't restrict yourself when you are writing ethics answers, that it's ethics answers, so I'll not use from GS2, GS1, GS3. Right? If you know something and which is relevant, use that. Write constitutional articles also. But it should not look your GS2 answer. Right? Data also, just like in GS3 answers, you write data. Yes, here also use sometimes some data. But it should not be looking like GS3 answer. It should be more value oriented or these core issue oriented. Clear? Next, this one, read. This is purely theoretical question. Very simple in answer writing, if you just understand. Okay, I'll read. Ethics encompasses several key dimensions that are crucial in guiding individuals and organizations towards morally responsible behavior. Explain the key dimensions. Key dimensions of ethics that influence human actions. Discuss how these dimensions shape ethical decision making in professional context. Specifically, they are expecting examples from professional context. Whenever they'll say professional, think about as many professions you can think of in private sector also and in public sector also. So all government offices, all private corporates, think about that to come up with different kinds of examples. Okay, question is specifically key dimensions of ethics. This is the topic that is there in your syllabus also, dimensions of ethics. Now in theory, what you read when you study about dimensions, there is this theoretical ethics. We read theoretical ethics, applied ethics. In theoretical ethics, there is normative ethics, descriptive ethics, meta-ethics. Yes, most of the books cover this part. Yes, applied ethics, you have like environmental ethics, media ethics, technology ethics. What else? Political ethics, biomedical, etc., etc. Wherever you applied the theoretical concepts to the day-to-day life problems, there it becomes your applied ethics. Even in normative, deontology, teleology, virtue ethics, right? And in descriptive, you have absolute ethics and relative ethics. Meta, anyway, not so important. Now, this is theory. In the books, when you study in this manner. In the answers, you will not write like this. Okay, you will use the same structure to make your answers or the points. Or you will come up with some example and make a statement from these structures. Okay, if you want to write, just write down. Then I'll just explain. Done? Now see, the question is asking about explain the key dimensions of ethics that influence human actions. Okay, these are the dimensions that you study. Discuss how these dimensions shape ethical decision making. How these dimensions help you in making ethical decisions in professional context. Remove the professional context right now. For example, we'll look at professionals. Okay, the dimension that we need to go for. What is in ethics that is teaching me to take the right decisions? What all framework is helping me out? One of the framework I have in the normative one, normative ethics is something that tells you what to be done, what is the right thing to do. One branch is deontology. Deontology says that if your action is right, means are right, the action is completely ethical. Yes, it helps me. Now take anything from professional context, any profession, and just show that this profession uses this right means to reach to this ethical decision making. Getting it? It could be anything now. You can take example of a parliamentarian who is whatever work he is doing. He's just making use of parliamentary methods. He can use other methods also, extra constitutional methods. Let's say a politician who doesn't like what Modi ji is doing right now. He has multiple options. Now, just like Muhammad Ali Jinnah, he can also say direct action, go and attack the Parliament of India, Supreme Court of India. He can do that. Yes, this cockroach Janata Party. But if that person follows constitutional methods, that means he's using the right means. It's an example of deontology. Yes, just we have to think. Take this and just bring any example from any profession and make your statement. Okay, same thing about teleology. Give me one example. I can think about doctor right now the moment I look at teleology. Sometimes let's say you got some big disease, doctor will not tell you. Teleology. Deontology wise, he should have told you. Honestly, he'll not tell. Because he knows you'll take extra stress, something else will happen. So teleologically he's thinking. Huh?
They're going to showcase all the deaths.
Operation Sindur, how?
आर्मी लोग मर गया हमारे data on mail.
Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing, right?
Why?
People will get intimidated if you figure few figures of deaths of.
No, but this is still very extreme statement. You are considering that people are so emotional that if you tell them that so many people died,
If the country is in the trouble, if they are killing our army, it will be a.
but you're completely going against one foundational value of civil service, that is transparency. You're saying that don't be that transparent.
The army general told them.
So do you mean we should never tell how many people died?
Only few situations.
Okay.
Like in pandemic, we didn't disclose the death rate, right? In pandemic.
It's not a good thing, na? We criticize government so much for that.
Yeah, but finally it's justifiable because they did panic.
By that logic, China never tells how many people died. They never told in Galwan how many people died from Chinese side. Is it a good thing?
So for the larger cause.
For larger cause, it is dangerous. See how things work. Let's say I'm the government, I'm your prime minister. If I'm not letting you people know how many people are dying, or let's say instead of that,
They were giving like less numbers, not completely.
that's what I'm saying. You're compromising. Think about it. I'm your prime minister, and 1 lakh people died from India. Okay, and I'm not telling you anything. You will think this prime minister is very good prime minister. Not a single person died. You should remove me and bring another person. If Indians are dying because of this prime minister, you should ensure my accountability. That's your job. I'm on the job now. If I'm not doing good job, you should remove me. Simple. This is not a good thing. If they are not telling, it's not. You can say for some time being, because there can be a panic for some 1 day, 2 day, 3 days. You just, so that some panic should not happen, some chaos should not happen. That's why you did not give an information. But after some time, if you disclose, this is wording is very important. Na? The way you said and the way I'm saying, there is difference. Yes, but we don't know.
Demolition, corrupt constructions to build a public hospital.
Corrupt what?
Corrupt construction, illegal construction.
Illegal constructions.
For a public hospital or something.
Okay, not. Still better example there could be. Yes, that was teleological. Very good. He just cared about freedom. How it comes through Hitler doesn't matter. Operation Smile. Smiling Buddha. That is about Pokhran test. Yes, teleologically good. Right now we understand what Iran is facing. We would have faced. Good, but professional, because they asked about professional, so we'll not go for Mahabharata right now.
Pilots and have to land guest analysis.
Pilots?
And have to land guest analysis.
Okay, fine.
It is important on the means.
But do they have any other option?
Somehow they have to land.
But do they have any other option? See, teleology, decision making will come into picture when you have options. You give me 3 options and I choose one. When I only have one option, it's useless. Now, how can you judge right and wrong? When I have no other option. I'm living on an island and there is no vegetarian food available. I'll eat non-veg, na? Did you give me option? When I have option, then I choose vegetarianism. Okay, ethical. Getting it? Huh? Whistleblowing, yes. Whistleblowing, you can consider. Then virtue ethics. One example from any profession. You can put for any profession. Virtue ethics is common for everyone. Yes, without some virtues, you can't do that work properly with excellence in your work. Excellence will not come. If I have to teach, I'll have to study. I have to do the research. If I stop researching, stop studying, I'll not be relevant for teaching here.
Also treating students equally.
Huh?
Treating students equally, not discriminating.
Okay, so I've taken one example of teacher over here. Teaching also one profession. I hope you understand how we are creating points through the same structure. They don't want this diagram because this diagram is just about theory. They want some practical examples and practical arguments. That's what we can tell them. That deontology gives us a framework to judge an action on the basis of the means that are used. Example, this doctor did this. This is how I'll make my points. This is the core demand of this question. Clear? Same you can do for all these things. Media ethics, environment ethics, technology ethics. Everything you can write one point. You'll have so many points after that. Virtue ethics is developing virtues. Virtues are the character traits that you develop. Yes, for example, you want to become an athlete, you should first have discipline. Na? You'll never become athlete otherwise. That virtue has to be there. If you want to become a scholar, then you should have that virtue of looking for knowledge always. Otherwise, you can't be a scholar. Got it? So it's a habit that you develop. Every time you do it, that becomes part of your character. That is your virtue. I'll discuss virtue again. When we discuss values part, there I'll discuss the difference. Done with this? Easy? We'll take the difficult questions so that you don't face problems. This is one. Try this. These are the kinds of questions why people find ethics difficult. Although we have discussed this part already. Yes, someone answer because we have discussed this part. Already we have discussed.
Trump example. Trump example.
Trump's example. What example? Venezuela. Okay. Tell me the dimension. What are they asking? What Mr. Socrates is trying to say?
Like justifying with the rationality is not the correct thing. Only justifying with the rational holistic approach is not. If the work is vulgar.
No. That word is he's simply using it.
No, the vulgar in vulgar in the sense it is like completely like logical.
Good.
Moral is developed by popular societal.
Social moral.
So has no meaning.
The morals which were developed by popular.
Just now we discussed. This question is actually mixing two things. One we have already discussed. It's something related to this part. Look, two concepts it is merging. In descriptive, I talk about absolute and relative ethics. Two concepts are there and you can utilize both or you can just utilize one also to write this answer. Just understand the concept. One is absolute ethics versus relative ethics. Absolute ethics will say that if something is wrong, it is absolutely wrong. Anywhere, at any position, at any time, it is wrong. If murder is wrong, it is wrong in the ancient time also, modern time also, India also, China also, North Korea also. Even if it is done by you or Prime Minister or even Supreme Court. Murder is wrong, then every murder is wrong. So they'll even not allow this capital punishment also. Getting it? Absolute ethics will get in this manner. Clear? Relative ethics will say that no. What is ethics can keep on changing. It is not same. It is little dynamic. What might be considered right in one society might not be considered right in other society. Because societies are different, cultures are different, sometimes times are different. So some people will say, sir, at one point of time, sati was okay. Slavery was also okay. Now you people hate sati, hate slavery also. Yes? So society evolved with time, ethics changed. Yes? Now you think you talk about human rights and that is ethical. Maybe after 100 years, the way we criticize our ancestors, our future generation will criticize us because we don't care about animal rights. We just care about human rights. After that, that generation will be criticized by next generation because you don't talk about bio rights, rights of entire ecosystem, not just animals. Why only animals? There are so many species. Right? So relative ethics will look at this thing that it keeps on changing, or it might change, it might vary. It depends on different contexts. Yes, the context could be many. For example, it could be any particular culture or society specific, or you might say situational. Like you'll say, sir, murder is wrong, but in a particular situation, it's okay, sir. Okay, one extreme situation, in that, sir, I killed because I had no other option. This is relative ethics. Getting it or not? Yes? So this is the difference, wherein this person Socrates is not liking this idea of relativism. He's saying, how can you have relative stuff? Then it can lead to any direction. Then situationally people will say, I had no other options. I killed 1 lakh people. It's okay. What is that person? Huh? Okay, Osama with Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu. Yeah, he'll also say the same thing. I had no other option. So I destroyed Iran completely using nuclear weapons. Who knows, in future he can say that. The point is, some people take this stance, some people take this stance. What should be your stance while writing the answers, or even in interview? What should be your stance? If you want to show the complete understanding of ethics, we accept that yes, relativism exists. Okay, relativism certainly exists. But with time, when the society will evolve fully, if it really evolves, then we should reach to this stage where there is no relativism. If something is right, right for everyone. If wrong, wrong for everyone. There shouldn't be any doubt about it. But to reach to this level, the society has to become advanced, intellectually, awareness-wise, and ethical compass-wise. Okay? So you can take this balanced stance. Don't take one side, because that again shows that you didn't understand the concept. Okay? Second thing that this person is focusing on is in the relativism, specifically emotion dominated. This is something we discussed just now. Yes, if you are still getting confused, look at the question again. Yes, a system of morality which is based on relative emotional values. Your morality is based on relativism. Relativism which is based in emotions. Your emotions, and you're coming up with your emotion, whatever it is saying, as right and wrong. And on that basis, the morality of the society is being decided. Then he's saying it is a mere illusion, a thoroughly vulgar conception which has nothing sound in it and nothing true. He's simply saying this morality is not a reliable morality as such. Okay, because emotions and the interpretation of emotions could be different. One of the dimensions maybe you can explore while writing answers, I don't know if you people know the difference in emotions and the feelings. Emotions are the raw things, your biological element. Suddenly something happened, something came in front of you, some tiger or something. Your body's biology will do something. Suddenly heartbeat increases, you panic and all. That's emotion part. Emotions is normal, natural thing that happens with every species. Okay, every species means specifically those who have those emotional, sentimental elements, like animals. But when you call it feelings, that's your personal understanding or interpretation of that emotion. Some people make different interpretation, some people make different interpretation. So the point is, it is too much subjective. If you look at a particular situation, you take it negatively, I take it positively. We don't know. So this kind of a morality, if we have based on these emotions, which are relative is not same, subjective, then he's saying it is not reliable. So while writing, when you start this answer, talk about this system of morality. It could come from emotions and it could come from reasoning. Socrates, you can simply write this line there, that Socrates is criticizing this sentimental morality and he is supporting a reason based morality. Okay, then one dimension could be simply to think. One dimension could be, what is the problem with this? If we have morality based on relative emotional values, just 2 3 points. What is the problem with this? It can lead to these problems. See, it's not altogether bad. You will not say it's altogether bad. Just because Socrates said, you don't need to say that. Use your mind, whatever you think. That, sir, it is also good, but it is not reliable. 100% reliability is not there. Even ChatGPT is good, but problem is it is not reliable. Sometimes it gives biased opinions, or sometimes whatever I say, he says, yes, you are right. And I'm wrong now, tell me I'm wrong, but it will not say. So reliability is the point. That's what he's saying. It is a vulgar conception. Okay, and an educated person, an aware person, if he goes for emotions based decision making, then it's a very vulgar thing that you're doing. You are at least supposed to make use of reason. Clear? Okay, this is the dimension you are supposed to write. At least 3 4 points if you could write with one example, you hit the core point of this answer. At the end, you take his side or you take your own side, it doesn't matter. Okay, unless you are taking any extreme stand, any opinion or any stand is okay, as far as you are giving the right arguments or right examples. Clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Good. How much time we have? Some 10 minutes. Okay. Anything missing? I'll tell you these easy questions. Differentiate between law and ethics. Easy. 2 marker. Easily you can write now. Yes or no? This is something very theoretical they asked. Okay, I don't think they'll ask this kind of a question again. Very theoretical, nobody expected. And in any book, this was not written. After they asked in the exam, then people started adding in their books. Okay, still I'll just explain what exactly it is. Ethical management and management of ethics. And I assume, let's say we are in the exam hall and we don't have any idea about it. I assume even I don't know how I'll think in order to come to the answer. Ethical management. Okay, so if I have this word, look at this. Which word is the important word over here? Is it ethical or is it management? Which is the main keyword? Obviously both are important. Main word is this. This management could be unethical also and ethical also. First, are we talking about this or this? This is what I'm trying to look at. So I understood we are talking about management. So which kind of management? Either ethical or unethical. In this, they asked about ethical management. Okay. At least I understand question is focusing on what, right? Now think about management only. What is management? All these managers, they do management. Here we have a management who is providing you books and all those things. Simple na? Manager will do management. Management of resources. Yes, resources would include the infrastructure, finances, funds, or people. They have to manage me also. They ensure that I come on time, you people come on time, everything they are doing. Right? So management involves managing a project, managing resources, managing a team, people, etc. There can be conflicts. They have to handle all of that. Okay, so let's imagine I'm a manager. I'm handling all of these things over here. I can handle these things unethically also and ethically also. While giving these booklets to you, I'll charge you 100 rupees extra and the institute will not know. That's unethical management. I'm doing the management, but unethical. Okay, and I can do it in an ethical manner also. So this is how I have tried to deconstruct the meaning of this statement or the particular word. Now I can write. Yes. So think about anyone who is doing some management from private sector also, public sector also. Modi ji is also doing management only. Yes or no? Whether ethically or unethically. How to do ethically? Any example is ethical example now. use the resources rightly. If there are conflicts, give priority to the values. All this is management. Which kind of ethical management? Done. Anyway, they asked for 2 marks, just 1 mark. Like this entire they asked for 2 marks. So 1 mark only for this, 1 mark for this. 1 or 2 lines easily you can manage if such shocking questions are there. Second is management of ethics. Now in this, which word is important for us? This time not management, this time ethics is important. Core word is ethics. And now we are talking about management of ethics. How to manage this ethics. Now this is actually when people study this business ethics and all, because one of my friend, he takes these corporate lectures. In corporates they take some leadership lectures and all. So there they teach about this management of ethics and all. So in management of ethics, what they try to do is this ethics. Let's say I'm starting this new organization. I want to ensure that in this organization things should be ethical. So how to build the ethics of my particular organization? Number one, I can say we will follow a code of ethics. So first I'll write one code of ethics. Yes, I'll make some specific rules, non-negotiable rules. I'll make some committees. Let's say someone does something wrong, that committee will take care of it. Likewise, I can write many things. So anything that I create to ensure that my organization becomes more ethical, that is management of ethics. I'm trying to manage ethics of that organization. Clear? Yes? Next, someone tell me. This one. Simple, but it's actually about one issue. Tell me what is that issue? Huh? Misconduct. Okay, what else? No, it's from a controversial issue in India. VIB. Okay, good. What else? Delimitation. No, delimitation is a good thing, no? What's wrong in that? Good. He's little close. No, it's about reservation. There's a word we use. Specifically for reservation, sometimes we make use of this word called positive discrimination. Yes, because some kind of discrimination happened since years. To reverse that and to bring equality in substantive form, now we are doing another discrimination. But this discrimination is a necessary discrimination because some sections are very weak. To bring them at par with others, first some discrimination has to be there. That line of Aristotle, treat unequals unequally, right? So this is a good thing. This is a discrimination, but it's a good discrimination. But now some state governments, they said we also want to give this reservation to some other communities. For example, Maharashtra case, very famous, Maratha reservation or Jat reservation. Huh? Obviously for votes. But what is the problem with Maratha or Jat reservation? Why not give them reservation? They're asking for it. Huh? Yeah, someone said. Very good. That is called preferential treatment. Understand the term. The ultimate objective of reservation has been, when we brought this system, we have society like this. In this society, this segment is not in a good condition since a long time. So we want to bring them at par with them. Okay, this segment is powerless. They don't have enough power. So we want to empower them. That's why we are doing positive discrimination. That's why we are giving reservation to them. What if we start giving reservation to these people? It's completely opposite to the idea of reservation, why we brought reservation. If you start giving reservation to these people, that's preferential treatment. This is preferential treatment. Huh? You can say for greed, but it's at policy level we are talking right now. If government is making a policy in which they start giving reservation to the upper caste or the rich people or some segment which is already having lot of power, then that's real discrimination. That's what British government was doing now. All the Europeans will get these benefits, others will not get. Same thing, you give Maratha reservation. Maratha is one of the most politically powerful community in Maharashtra. They can't have a chief minister without Maratha community support. They have a lot of land also. And such a community you are giving reservation. Just like I heard here, the Reddy community and all. I heard they're powerful, I don't know. So this is the problem. This is preferential treatment. It is real discrimination that you are doing. Reservation that we gave earlier, that was positive discrimination. Okay, so anyone who starts the answer with the example of reservation or specifically mentions Maratha and Jat reservation, that person is actually hitting the point. Clear? This question? Easy? Easy. Next, personal ethics versus professional ethics. This part you people read in the books. Not a big deal. I've mentioned here also in the notes. You people can read what's the difference. In personal life, you have emotions. You have some unconditional bonds with your family members, friends. So ethics little bit differs as compared to the ethics in professional life. In professional life, there are clear rules. Okay, and tolerance level is 0. If I do anything wrong, the institute will remove me. I teach something wrong. Next day, I'll not come. Simple. But at home, even if I do something wrong, my father, my mother will not remove me from the house. Okay, unless it's very extreme, obviously. But normally, this will not happen because the bond is unconditional. Here, it is purely conditional. That's the difference between personal private life and the public life, or what we say professional life also. Right? Only that dimension has to be explored in such questions. Clear? Any doubt till now? Yes, I think almost we covered all the questions. If I missed on anything, just let me know. We covered almost everything. Check once, have an overview of all the questions. If you find anything confusing, please ask. We'll go in the same manner. I'll also try to show you some more topper copies, how they have written answers, how we can even write better than them. That idea also we'll explore. See, even if you write like them, still you're getting selected. If it is about improving the ranks and marks, there is scope for improvement always. Okay? Yes, any doubts, please ask. Or any problem you people are still facing, which I'm not addressing in the lectures, let me know. So we'll make some changes also.
Before going to analyzing the reviews, first for 10-15 minutes, briefly analyze the keywords.
Keywords means which keywords? The syllabus keywords you're saying. Okay. Actually, I expected that you people have already read ethics. That was a basic expectation, but okay, if you're feeling that you're not able to recall, we'll do a brief revision. Okay, I got it. We'll do brief revision and then we'll start talking about these questions. No, okay, good. What else? No doubts? Yes, doubt. Yes.
It might be helpful if you generate the answer. Like let's say we have discussed the first 10 questions right now. Then if you generate the answer for at least 1 or 2 points provided, either you making us to write or you writing.
We'll write. Okay, we'll do that.
It might be helpful.
Already we have almost written few answers. Few just I discussed structure. Complete answer also. Okay, we'll do that. I'll make you people write. Then we will write. That would be much better. Then you will see where is the gap. We'll do that also. It's just time constraint we will have, because if we have to cover everything, so 1 or 2 questions maybe we can do that. Sure. Yes, anything else? No? Sure then. Thank you so much. Tada, bye bye. One more thing. Anyone, if you are writing answers, let's say in the class we are not able to see, then after the class also, anytime you can reach out to me, especially those who are writing mains this time, answers or any essays or something you have written. You want me to just have a look at it. It will hardly take me 2-4 minutes just to understand how much you'll score or what improvement you need to do. It's not about marks. Marks test series you'll anyway get the marks. I can just help you with anything you need to improve on. So you can reach out to me anytime. Okay? Sure. Thank you.